822, Big 550 KTRS. He's an editor of Politic Mo. Been on the show before. Eli Yokley, welcome back. Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, before we get started with this police badge legislation, I guess the John Hancock story has sort of come and gone, and I guess he's going to survive, huh?
He seems to be surviving. I mean, they were stomping on him for 2 weeks, and he seems to have come out on top here. The attention's focusing, moving on to people like Catherine Hanaway and Jeff Rowe, who were sort of involved in another negative campaign against him. So the story's not over, but I think it looks like Hancock has survived the hardest part of the whole thing.
Yeah, interesting. All right, good. Let's talk about this law down in Jefferson City. They want police to carry, what, cameras on them every time they go outside?
Yeah, the legislature doesn't. In fact, they talked about a bill yesterday. It was sponsored by Doug Lively. He's a senator from down in southeast Missouri. And it's got 4 provisions on it. One of the provisions bans the state from requiring law enforcement to wear body cameras. And then it includes another provision that would not let journalists and others get a hold of the video that's taken by the body cameras. One of the biggest provisions in the bill is one that would require law enforcement to wear identification badges whenever it's feasible, but when feasible is a word that's built into the legislation too. The only really thing it does is requires the governor, whenever he appoints a state of emergency based on civil unrest, to have counties deploy counselors basically to help folks dealing with the protests. So, the Ferguson bill the Senate's looking at right now, dealing with law enforcement, there's really not a whole lot there, Mazoff.
If they're going to ban police officers from wearing cameras, then why do you have to then, if they can't wear the cameras, why do you have to ban the footage?
It's banning the state from requiring them to. So, like the local St. Louis County Police Department could still have their officers wear cameras. But what Senator Lively is saying is he doesn't want the state forcing these cities to do so.
Gotcha.
And there's two sides to that, Eli. It's Farah Fazal. Hi, Eli. Certainly in the interest of public disclosure, news stations want that video, especially if something has happened, so we can see what really went on, and it gives us context. But there's the other side of it, and that is that it might hinder an investigative process if you've got a suspect that might be in that video. So there's two sides of this whole camera thing. But so much attention has been given to the fact that officers need to wear cameras. So it sounds like some of this has been watered down in that respect. In any case.
Yeah, and the bill is, I think you could say objectively it's watered down. And Maria Chappelle-Nadal, the senator from Ferguson, said that same thing on the Senate floor. On the sunshine issue dealing with body cameras, Chris Koster, he opposes them being able to go and Freedom of Information Act request the footage. And his point is, television news and entertainment producers are going to be trying to get their hands on them. And what they said on the Senate floor yesterday was, imagine a police officer walking into a home dealing with a domestic violence dispute. Do you really want that body camera footage on television news the next night? Or do you want to see it online on some of these websites that kind of prey on the kind of information they can get from law enforcement? I mean, we've seen people that you have to pay them to get your mug shot off of their website. I mean, imagine what would happen with some body camera footage.
But
you can imagine a compelling argument against it, but then there's the other side of that. Journalists are really trying to do their jobs.
Right.
And imagine a scenario like the one that happened in Ferguson, where we could have learned quite a bit more had we seen some sort of footage.
But to be honest, the sunshine laws are rather weak in Missouri, aren't they? So, in fact, actually, the agencies that's releasing that video could still say, okay, we will only give you 10 seconds of this because the rest of it is, it's under investigation, or whatever is wrong with that video, whatever video that they don't want other people to see or not yet able to see. They still have the ability to kind of monitor that.
Sure, and that's sort of the other side of that. So, I mean, that's one of the questions that came up yesterday as the legislature was talking about this, and it's pretty early in the process. There's not been a whole lot the legislature's passed yet. I think they've sent like 2 bills to the governor's desk so far. So things seem to be moving kind of slowly and quietly here. So there's quite a bit of time left on bills like this.
Yeah, my question is, who's going to pay for the storage? I mean, think about all the police officers and all the hours of video.
Yeah.
You're going to have to hold it for a certain amount of time. Who's going to pay for all that storage?
Maybe that's why the state doesn't want to require them if they don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
That sounds expensive.
Yeah.
I think that would be incumbent on the departments.
Eli Yokley, editor of politicmo.com. It's a great website coming out of Jefferson City. Eli Yokley. Thanks for checking in, Eli. Talk to you soon.
Hey, yeah, good to be here.
8:28 here, Big 550.